Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Larry Steinhouse Show. Hey, we are here broadcasting live from the Investor Schooling headquarters right here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I am Larry Steinhouse. I am the CEO of Investor Schooling, and I am here to make financial education fun and accessible to everyone, including you. Hey, join us as we dive into the exciting world of real estate investing, stock options trading, and treasure trove of financial wisdom. You can call us anytime during the show at
855-939-1137.
Call
855-939-1137.
Is that enough?
I don't know. Last time,
one more time.
Last time we did it seven times, right?
I'm not done. One more time.
Okay, 855-939-1137.
All right. By the way, we are not just on the air. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Hey, drop a comment and say hello. I'm here with my awesome co-host, Dr. Debbie Anderson. And, of course, you just heard the voice of Omri Morad, the immigrant. At Investor Schooling, we focus on practical learning. We equip you with real-world skills in real estate investing, stock options, tax-saving tips, and the secrets to financial freedom. Our headquarters are right here in Bucks County, but our online courses will reach even a larger learning network. So go to investorschooling.com and take a class with us this Thursday. All right, guys. There's a ticking noise. Why don't you tell me there's a ticking noise?
Because I hear it, and it wasn't on before we started the show.
As soon as he transmitted, right?
Something changed.
So so Sean, we have a ticking noise on our end. Do you have a ticking noise on your end?
No, I don't hear anything on my end.
Okay,
then we're probably okay. We'll just have to deal with it.
It's like always. We are the problem.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, we used to it.
Yeah, you guys sound perfectly fine over here.
Okay. All right, so if you guys are watching online, let us know if there's a ticking noise. Because I know that'll really annoy the people online.
Yeah, I know. It sounds tick, 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 tick,
yeah, and it just started right as we went on the air. It must be Sean's problem. Sean must have did it.
I guess, yeah.
We appreciate
it. Blame it on Sean, huh?
So Kimmy says YouTube has it, too.
Y'all not put me in the mix of this.
No, I know what's the problem.
Yeah, I know what the problem is, too.
Yeah.
Nah, I blame it on Larry. Larry always liked to play around with different stuff.
Did it just go away?
No, it's still on.
No, okay.
It's still on.
No, you know what it is? We're on channel 6. And we can't switch channels now.
No, it's too late now.
Too late now, yeah.
Okay, Kimmy, we still love you.
Yeah, listen, so Kimmy's watching. Kimmy is Army's #1 fan. And she's watching us on YouTube, even with the clicking noise.
Mm-hmm.
So we apologize the clicking noises to you guys who are watching online.
Our students are as dedicated to us as we are to them.
Absolutely true.
That's exactly what we see here.
Yes.
Exactly.
What do we see?
We see that the fact that we are so dedicated to our students make them be so dedicated to us.
We're so dedicated to our students that we're sitting here in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday.
I know.
Talking to you guys online and talking to you guys on the radio.
We could be on a monster truck right now.
Yes, we are a live show.
Yes, we are. And you can call us at any time.
At
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137.
And why should they call?
Why? Because I'm pretty sure that every person around has a problem that we have a solution for them. And that's the essence of what's going on in this building every Monday night.
Could we give them marital advice?
We can give marital. Yeah, you are an expert in marriage, actually.
Do we want to get into that on the air?
We can, actually, we can. I'm not sure if the wife's listening, but we can.
Oh no, my wife listens every week. You know why she listens every week?
Yeah, why?
Because she knows I might say something about her. So since you and I are going to the monster truck right after this.
Okay.
We can just talk about that in a minute. We're going to the monster truck show right after this.
Yes, correct.
She'll have some time to blow off the steam. So go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead and talk about it.
I need to know if you're going to sleep on my sofa tonight. So just give me a heads up.
Okay, you got it. Okay. All right. So we all had a good time last night. We all went out together. That was fun.
I thought that was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
It was a great time.
Yeah, so we went out with the spouses. And it's funny because, we have this dynamic, and if you guys have been to Investor Schooling and listened to this show for a while, this dynamic is real. I mean, it's the same exact, we talked like the pre-show. So I was joking because Sean's filling in for what's his face,
Glenn.
What's his
Come on,
face?
for Glenn.
And
We
I
miss
told
you,
Sean
Glenn.
I told Sean that the pre-show and the after show is funnier than the actual show because we can actually say stuff on the pre-show and the after show that we can't say here. And he was laughing. He appreciated it.
Yeah, you guys got to be like on a whole nother different platform for that one.
Well, yeah, right.
Like a pre-show. I don't know if you guys could do a pre-show uncensored.
Yeah, actually, we need to have our own show, Sean. You need to talk to somebody over there at PhD and let them know how good this show really is. Because,
We can see what we can do.
there's some shows
Never
over
know.
there that are pretty
I
boring.
can try to put some of my magic to it.
There you
There's
go.
some shows over there that are pretty boring.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
make sure they will listen to it at least once, because I'm not sure
we'll
anybody.
We'll see how the future can tell. You never know what can happen.
I'm not sure anybody from WPHT ever listened to our show.
No, I don't think they don't. We've proved it because we've made fun of people in headquarters, not the
Everybody, and we said that
Yeah,
they are
right.
us.
No, right,
and
right.
exactly, and yet we haven't heard anything from them.
Right, exactly.
No, we listening to you guys. Trust me.
No. Maybe you are. But, we had a whole week where we basically said WPHT, us, over and over again, with this upped.
But the broadcast cut.
And that was the day the broadcast got. That was pretty funny too. All right, so we're supposed to be talking about finances and stuff like that. We
Sure.
should probably talk about something that we talked about on Thursday, right?
I wasn't here Thursday. I missed it.
Well, then leave. You can't be
Yeah.
on the show.
Yeah, apparently I'm not good enough to be on the show today.
So we
maybe I
talked
should-
about something we're very familiar with.
Yeah, with trust. No, I got
We
the,
trust,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that every time we have new people in the class, we always have the same face. Because they come, they're ready, they have their LLC in one hand, right? The EIN on the other hand, and they're like, I'm ready for real estate. And like, you didn't know, we explained to them, they didn't need to open an LLC before they were interested in real estate. It's like, what?
Yeah,
What
one of
are
the
you
biggest
saying?
mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes people make, young starting real estate investors, the biggest mistake they make is they think they need to have an LLC before they can do anything.
Correct.
Now, you could and should have an LLC eventually, but you don't need an LLC to invest in real estate.
No.
And it's the craziest thing. They're like, oh, but I went to some course and they charged me $10,000 to say that they would open an LLC for me in where?
I don't know, Wyoming, yeah,
Wyoming
exactly.
or Nevada, right?
So
Which-
Delaware is another thing. For some reason, people
Delaware's good too, yeah.
yeah.
So Wyoming and Nevada. So
Yeah.
they're going to charge them $10,000. They're going to open their LLC in Nevada or Wyoming, and they're going to tell them that they're going to be so much more protected. First of all, if you're paying $10,000 to
For
open an
an
LLC,
I can
you're
get
out of
it.
your mind. You can do it yourself for $150.
Even less.
Right? You can even use Rocket Lawyer if you want to. Rocket Lawyer. Now, Rocket Lawyer, I don't recommend Rocket Lawyer for many things.
Okay.
But if you open an LLC, Rocket Lawyer will at least do the work for you, do it right, and it only costs you $100 plus the filing fee of about $150.
Yeah.
So you could use Rocket Lawyer, not $10,000, and you don't have to have a Wyoming or a Nevada LLC. This is the other misconception that drives me nuts.
I know.
And everyone will say to me, "Well, you have more protection. Protection from what?"
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. We always hear stories from people that go to their lawyers, and their lawyers are giving them this and this advice, which is like an automatic advice. It's not related to their situation. And they're getting this advice, they are following what they believe. They ask a pro, and the pro told them to do exactly that. They did it, and then they understand that this solution doesn't apply to them.
Right. And then real careful, because I want to be careful that we don't cross the line here. What are we not, Deb?
We're not accountants, and we're not lawyers.
and we give advice based on personal successes and experiences.
Correct.
We cannot give you legal advice. We can make fun of your lawyer all day long, because that's what I will do. But we can't give you legal advice. So, just understand that, what we do is we teach practical advice. And so now you may be asking, where do I put my property if I don't put it in an LLC?
Mm-hmm.
And we recommend, for the most part, that you put your property in what some refer to as a land trust. I call it a personal property trust, but some refer to it as a land trust. And the land trust is so easy to create. In fact, our students have templates on how to do it. Not templates, but samples on how to do it, and they can do it themselves. And some do it themselves, and it's so simple, and it protects you from almost everything that an LLC protects you from, and keeps the property out of your name.
So it protects you extra over the LLC because if somebody will go and look who actually is
The owner of the property? Yeah, I know.
no, the owner of the trust, which is the wrong terminology.
Right, the
right?
beneficiary of the trust.
The beneficiary of the trust, exactly. The LLC is there.
Right, so
So-
he's going down the line because he's listened to me say this so many times he doesn't realize that the people listening have no clue what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You are correct, but people you have to draw it out
Yeah.
verbally for the people
I know,
who listen,
I know.
right? So just to start out with a trust, in a trust you have the beneficiary, you have the trustee, and you have the actual trust.
Correct.
Now the trust is actually just a piece of paper, and it actually owns the property. And this is my favorite thing. And once you grasp the fact that a piece of paper owns this property, that's when things get fun.
People can get it.
They can't get it. It's funny because I'll tell you this over and over again, and it'll take a few months for you to understand that the piece of paper is the owner of the property.
So-
no one else owns the property except a piece of paper.
I have to say something. In Thursday class, somebody said, so it's like a car title. And it appeared to me that it's not accurate.
It's not even close.
Why it's not even close?
Why would a trust be the same as a car title?
Because if you have a car title, right?
That's
that
like Chinese food and the moon.
No, wait. Hear me out.
Exactly. They have nothing to do with each other.
Hear me out. If you have a signed car title,
Right.
right? In order to take possession of this car, you only need a piece of paper. Correct?
Yeah, but I own the car. The title is the proof of the ownership.
I completely understand.
Okay.
I completely understand. The bureaucracy behind it is completely different. But the fact that a paper owns something,
The
you
title-
can
No.
only the fact that the paper owns something, because this is the stage that so many people have hard time to
So it's funny because
get
I'm not
it.
sure if you get it yet.
Okay.
Because if you're saying that, you may not get it yet. And it's funny because there's a point where it actually clicks. And as I start to have conversations with people, with students,
Yeah.
they finally get it. Now, no matter how many times I can tell you, it's a piece of paper that owns the property.
It's not registered
the
anywhere.
The car title would be like the deed to the house, right?
Yeah.
So who holds the car title? When you own a car, who holds the car title?
Me.
You, right? So who holds the title to the house if it's in a trust?
The trust.
The trust, which is a piece of paper, right? And a piece of paper is not you. It's a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Inside this trust is a beneficiary, which is who this property is entrusted to, right? Which is the beneficiary, right? Or held for by the beneficiary.
Yeah.
And then there's the trustee, and the trustee is the person who has complete control over the property.
Okay.
And it's amazing because the trustee speaks for the piece of paper, and the beneficiary outlines what they want the piece of paper to do in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
That's it. So now the trustee has complete control of the property. Doesn't own the property. I don't own any properties. I own 0 properties.
So the big difference is that this piece of paper is not registered anywhere.
That's the best part. That's the difference between a trust and an LLC right there. The difference between a trust and an LLC is a trust is not registered anywhere. It is a piece of paper put in a drawer that is in your house, and only you and whoever you tell about it knows about it.
In a fire-rated safe.
It could be a fire-rated safe.
It should be.
It should be, or it could be on a computer.
Yeah.
Because you need a real copy of it, but it could be a PDF copy for the title company.
Yeah.
So you can put it in OneDrive if you want to, so it's stored forever.
Sure.
But most importantly, if you do this, if you put your property in a trust and you come to investor school, you learn how to do it, you decide to do it, make sure you tell your heirs that the trust exists.
Exactly.
Because they will never find it. And that's pretty wild. This is the difference between what we teach and what those amateurs out there who have been doing it for 3 weeks teach.
More than that,
I've been doing this for 42 years.
if your relative know that you own this and this property,
Mm-hmm.
and they will go and they will try to inherit those properties, the lawyer will tell them, no, it doesn't belong to him. It belongs to this and this trust.
Well, see, the interesting part about that, too, is the trust bypasses probate. So if I have a property and my beneficiary is my children on the trust, now remember, I'm the trustee, so I have full control of the property, even though the piece of paper owns it. If I make the beneficiary my children, then as soon as I die, my children just appoint another trustee. They don't need to go to probate. They don't need to pay taxes on it. They don't need to pay any inheritance taxes on it
So-
because they didn't inherit it.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Who is allowed to change a beneficiary?
The beneficiary.
Only the beneficiary
Right, only
is
the beneficiary
allowed
can
to
change
change
the
a
beneficiary,
beneficiary. So, if you see that something bad is going to happen to you, that's the point that you change all the trusts, all the beneficiaries in all the trusts.
That is a good strategy.
Okay.
It's a good strategy.
Can you put it in your will?
I don't want to put it in my will.
I know. Nobody wants to put it in their will.
No, I don't want to put anything in my will because if I put it in my will, then there's somewhere along the way
I know.
something is going to be triggered.
Yeah.
So I now have a trust that's all outside my will. I mean, basically my will says that the 7 cents in my pocket goes to
Someone.
to my dog.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because I have no money. I own nothing.
Yeah.
I own no properties. I own no cars. I get to drive a whole bunch of really cool cars.
Yeah.
But I don't own them, right? Oh, and when I say I don't own them, it doesn't mean that they're not paid off. Most of them are,
Yeah.
right? But I don't own them because I either have a trust owns them or an LLC owns them. They're not mine. I just get to drive them.
Yeah.
So now, if anything happens to me, if I die, my cars don't have to be inherited. My houses don't have to be inherited. Some of my funds don't have to be inherited. Some of them do because some of them are still in my name, but it's very, very, very little. I mean, most people the average person who dies right now will give more, like the average person, I'm talking about like, nobody, nothing rich, nothing,
Yeah.
would give more would come more out of their pocket, when they died, I guess you want to call it out of their pocket, to their children than I will give to my children out of my pocket.
Yeah.
But my children will have control of millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of properties because of the way I structured it.
Okay. As
Now,
beneficiaries.
Now, if you're listening to this online, by the way, feel free to call in at
855-939-1137.
only one time.
Yeah, I don't know. We can
Come
do
on
it
now.
more. Again, that's 855-939-1137. Call us again at 855-939-1137.
And then, of course, as you know, so a couple of people on Facebook are telling you that they hear the static. Yeah, we know. Sorry about that, guys. If you just tuned in, there's a ticking noise that literally just started the second we went on the air.
Yeah, and we couldn't
can't
change
fix
it.
it now, so there's nothing we can do about it now. Matter of fact, when we go to the commercial, maybe we go to commercial early and I can try to fix it.
You
So
want
I'll
to
tell
change.
you what. I'm going to try to fix it. So, Sean, this is what I'm going to do in case I lose you, because I know how to fix this, but I got to shut down the transmission to you. So go to a commercial, and I'm going to come back in on channel 5 by you. So if you lose us, communicate via Messenger, and we'll try to solve the problem. So go to a commercial, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to cut off. Go ahead.
All right.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment? You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to Investor Schooling.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
it's gone
good.
now, right? It's fixed. Learn how to buy investment properties and make money
Fixed.
every.
Y'all want to just do this one commercial right here?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay.
All right, I'm bringing you guys
Okay.
back right
All right.
now. All right.
Yeah, Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. All right, everybody, welcome back. That was
Now we are
am I good or
clear.
what?
Oh my
The
god.
problem was I just needed to disconnect from the studio to fix it, and that's why I had to go to commercial. But it's all fixed. Okay, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you guys hanging in there and listening to the ticking noise while it was there. But we have it gone now. so thank you guys for complaining. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And if you're on Facebook right now or LinkedIn or anything, just say hi. I mean, we got Kimmy. Kimmy's like, she just keeps talking to us.
I know.
She should call in. She says all this stuff every week. She's like, oh,
Maybe she don't know the phone number.
Oh yeah, you should tell her the phone number.
That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. I think people need to understand that what just happened here is also how we fix problems in investor schooling. When you come with a problem, that's how we do it.
We fix it in 30 seconds.
Exactly. Efficiently.
Sometimes it takes a little more than 30 seconds.
The solution is presented to them pretty fast, right? And you see it on Monday nights. I started this show today with talking about Monday nights. Monday nights, the couple of recent Monday nights that we had were amazing. People came with the problems that were solved so fast. People that needed the money, people that needed advice, every time there was something else. People are coming with assumption about IRAs and annuities, and they understand very fast how wrong they are. So Monday nights are the best, right, the best part for me.
And this is the only financial show on Saturday because they have all these financial shows, including one right after us. And why did the one right after us go on the air? Because WPHT, us.
Okay.
Right? Because they put the show on right after us, which we're the lead-in for their show.
Yeah.
Which absolutely us up.
Okay.
But that's okay. I'm okay with it.
And we are the only live one.
And we're the only live one.
Exactly.
Right. But anyway, like everyone else on the other financial shows, which I'm not a fan of some of the products they sell.
Yeah.
And the biggest product that they sell that I'm not a fan of is
annuities.
Annuities, right? Because annuities basically steal your money.
We need to explain. We are not selling any product.
Right.
We are not selling products. The only thing we are selling is education.
That's exactly right. So now when your financial advisor suggests something and you didn't understand why he suggested it, most likely it's because he gets the most commission for that product. But sometimes you're going to find a financial advisor who might actually have your best interest in mind, not just his. But at least we can explain it to you. And we can explain why he may have picked that or if it's good or bad. And it doesn't matter to me. So you come to me and I say your financial advisor put you in Fund A or Fund B or Fund C, and they're good or no good. I'll say this one's good. I don't care if you go back to them and buy the other one. It doesn't really matter to me because it doesn't mean anything to me. What's up, Deb?
Nothing. I'm just listening in.
You're just enjoying?
No. You can't just listening because at the end of the show, you will do this drama that we.
I'm not doing drama. I'm not
doing
any drama.
We don't allow you to speak.
Because usually you don't let me speak. But like right now, we're not talking about anything that's even like incredibly.
Why don't you say hello to our caller then?
Who's our caller? I can't see.
Chris.
Hey, Chris, how you doing? What's going on?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Hello.
What's going on? What can we help you with today?
Well, I literally just turned the program on.
Okay.
Got in my set to 1210, and I'm listening to this, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm in trouble. I'm 72, don't have a will, have beneficiaries on all the different things, but I'm just thinking, I guess I need to get with the program here. I mean, some of this stuff sounds very interesting with the trust. But I don't have anything like that.
Do you have
I just have beneficiaries on, different accounts and things like that.
Do you own any properties, Chris, or?
Yes. Own property.
Okay.
A home. But, I guess, I don't know about how it would work with the house or how it would even work with the properties. The properties are things inherited, so I'm in that with other people, and I do get worried about that.
Right. You have to, so you have a lot of things you need to do. So how many properties do you have that are not your primary residence?
The primary residence and then properties that I inherited with other people.
Oh, so like other siblings?
Yes.
Yeah, you got a possible mess on your hand that you don't even know. I assume you have children, correct?
I know. And I have children, and I know this, and this is all kind of just currently happened. So, and we're all in the process of trying to decide, okay, let's do something here with the properties. But I guess the main thing is, the accounts, all of that are in their names, the beneficiaries' names. And then there's just the house.
Right.
And of course, there's cars and all kinds of stuff like that.
Chris, are you married?
Yes.
Okay, so and I know it's a weird question, but is it your
everything is
it your first
we're
husband?
all we're Yes.
It's your first. Okay, so good
It's
for
the
you.
only husband.
Good,
yes.
Yeah, good for you. Okay, so that makes it less complicated, but you still have some complications. All right, so first of all, you should know that we are not estate planners. Okay, everything I teach based on information that I've learned from people who are really, really smart that I coach from, and then I use that information and I expand on it and I do research and I go back to them and I have some questions. I have only one. There's only one estate planning attorney who I trust. Only one, and the problem with him is he never returns a phone call. So he's great, but he never returns a phone call. So I'm not going to give his name over the air, but if you wanted to contact us, you can. You could give us a call during the week, and I'll give you his name. Just hopefully he will call you back. Now, you're in Jersey or you're in PA?
In Jersey.
Okay.
In Jersey.
I mean, the rules are basically the same, and I think these guys practice in Jersey anyway. But that would be one thing. And if you wanted, I also recommend, just come to class. You might learn something. I mean, if you have properties...
Yeah.
You might learn something, so go to investorschooling.com and show up for class on Thursday night.
And it's online, all this information on where to go.
Yeah, we actually, if you're close, we prefer you come in person. If you're close, we prefer you come in person, but if you're not, you can come on Zoom. But the best thing to do is, even if the first time, if you have to drive a little bit, always show up the first time in person and get to know us. Is this the first time you've ever listened to our show?
Okay. It's just a fluke that you're on, and I'm in the car, and yes.
All right, great. Well, as you can see, we are definitely not your typical financial show.
Well, that's why, to be honest with you, I've heard many, many financial shows.
Right.
But I've never heard one like this, and they're all, they're not like you. And that's why, I guess I kind of really didn't. I never called, never asked questions or whatever.
Cool.
You did pique my interest when you discussed the trust.
Yeah.
And I do need to learn more about that. Yeah, I'm very curious about exactly why one would put everything in a trust. Mm-hmm. And so I need more information, and I do need to go to school.
Right. And then there are other trusts that we're not even talking about yet that might be good for you. And a family trust might be a good idea for all those properties to go into a family trust, and then you have all the kids already in the trust.
Right.
And then one of you, somebody dies, you die, or one of your sisters dies, or whatever. It doesn't change anything. No, it just that person no longer gets any money.
Well, that was one of my concerns. Because we're all, I'm one of the oldest, but we're all getting up there. And I was a concern because tomorrow the world can change.
Yeah.
And then what happened? So it is something that I do want to address and get more information on. And you are Larry?
Larry Steinhouse is my name.
Larry.
Right? And the company that we teach at is at Investor Schooling. Larry Steinhouse, Investor Schooling.
Mm-hmm. All right. Very good. Very good. Thank you. This is a wonderful program. I'm going to continue to listen, and thank you for your
Thank you. We're on every Tuesday
information so far.
We're on every Tuesday. Every Saturday. Every Saturday at 2:00. I don't know how that got confused. Yeah, every Saturday at 2:00.
That's okay.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate you listening. All right, guys. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
Take care. So, where are we now? Deb, you know what we haven't talked about in a long time?
What's that?
Your property.
I am still waiting for water. Oh, my goodness.
Oh. So for you guys who are listening to the first time, like Chris, right? So Deb has a property that, she started it about 2 years ago, and she pretty much went through every possible problem she could have gone through with this property. So it was a great learning experience. I mean, as you know, real estate investors. We're going to teach you that real estate investing is easy. It's just not perfect. Right, you will have your times where you have problems.
Be careful with saying easy.
So you don't like the word easy either, huh?
No.
See, I don't know.
Easy is the right word.
I think easy. It is easy. It's not perfect. You're going to have problems. They will come up, but for the most part, real estate investing, to me, at least to me, is easy. Now, Debbie hit every single problem they could have possibly been, but you finally got the thing finished. However,
almost
the water company has not connected the building to water, which is unbelievable.
Which is
unbelievable.
So the township, the city, required American Water to replace the entire water line in the whole street.
Yeah.
The entire water line. So it wasn't even just my little place. It was the entire street had to get replaced with water. I was originally told about this, 3 or 4 weeks ago? And then I got another email, a couple days ago that it's going to be another 3 weeks or so before they hook up the water. So until the water's hooked up, I can't get a UNO. They can't do final inspections.
This is what I want you to do.
They can't do any of that stuff.
I want you to call American Water.
No, I'm done.
No, I want you to
I don't
call
even think
American Water.
I don't even know if it's
And
American.
I want you to say that you're the tenant that just leased this property and there's no water.
Listen. I know you both like the way I solve my problems. There is one.
I solve my problems different than yours.
No, I'm not sure. I'm
a bully.
I think you have proved many times the way I'm solving my problems and how good I am with those bureaucracies. There is one speed hump every time, and that's American Water.
Yeah,
American Water are bullies. He said bully. I will go. They are bullies.
I don't even think American Water is the bully. I think the problem was that there was a water line there, and then the township required that American Water to replace the whole line in the whole street. So clearly it was working to begin with. Why did it have to be fully replaced?
I have no idea. But to get American Water to do something, it's almost impossible.
Yeah,
it's almost impossible. I'm in a situation right now with American Water, by the way, that because of a leaking toilet in one of my properties that is a duplex right now, it's not right now, it's a duplex, I got a water bill for $1,500. $1,500 water bill. Okay? I'm shaking when I'm saying that. It's insane. So I talked to American Water and I said, listen, can we ask for an adjustment? There was a toilet leaking here. Your guy came and he saw that. And, it's a problem also for the tenant. This tenant needs to pay what basically is another rent right now to cover this expense. Right?
You're billing your tenant the water.
Of course.
Right, I agree.
Of course. So I talked to them and they claim that because it's a duplex, the account count as commercial account.
I thought commercial's not until it's like 5 properties
Thank you. So that's what also the PUC, the Pennsylvania Utility Commission, will tell you. American Water, everything over 1, they change it to be commercial for some unknown reason. And at the commercial, they are not willing to do adjustment for a leaking toilet.
All right, hold on. I love this conversation. I really do. But I have 2 problems with it.
Okay.
All right? You're scaring away everybody listening.
No, I don't. Listen, you started with saying that it's easy.
Right.
It
that was
is
the other
easy.
problem I had with the conversation was it sounds like real estate is not easy.
Listen, it is easy most of the time.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. And if you look in your IRS report, in your 1040, you will see that your real estate is always Schedule E, which means that even the IRS look at it as passive income. It's not such a big headache. Most of the time, me and Larry can fool around all day. But...
What did he say?
That apparently you guys are fooling around all day. I knew there was something between you guys. I knew it.
Fooling around with what?
Because, Omri's always talking about the fizz.
Fooling
apparently
around, whatever we do every day.
Wait, be real careful here. What is it that we do every day?
Apparently you guys have a thing going on, and the fizz is coming from Larry.
Why it's always your head?
You just said that you guys are always fooling around.
Exactly. What are we doing right now in this studio? We are fooling around. We're
on the radio show right now.
Everything is touching.
This is where it gets fun. So, Chris, if you're listening for the first time, this is where it gets fun. Because Omri is an immigrant. He came over here. He learned how to speak the language by watching Friends.
And that's
no joke,
the problem.
But that's the truth.
And that's
he learned
the
how
problem.
to speak English by watching Friends.
Yep.
And sometimes he says something that it's right. Of course, what he says is
we
right.
We are fooling around.
But it's so funny the way he says it because he doesn't understand some of the slang terms.
We are fooling around with our clothes on, okay? That's my point.
That doesn't help.
It does help.
That does not help at all.
We have time to do
Chris,
whatever we want.
Investor schooling.
Yeah, exactly. We have time to do whatever we want and to manage ourselves. And yes, to fool around, actually, if that's where you're going, okay? And still, sometimes there will be problems. If you do it right, they will be once in a while. They won't be every day. While when you are working 8 to 5, while you're a business owner that need to serve clients, most of the time you will have problems every day. So yes, it's not that easy, but on a normally everyday base, yes, it can be very easy.
Yeah, I look. Do I have problems? Yeah, I have problems.
Yeah.
In 42 years, I've been doing this for 42 years. I've been renting properties for 42 years.
Yeah.
And I've had some challenges, but nothing terrible. Honestly, the thing that you're facing right now with the water connection,
Yes.
I've never heard of such a thing. It's insane. Even during COVID, I'm sorry. Even during the scamdemic, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Even during the scamdemic, I didn't even have challenges collecting rent. I had one person who owned a barber shop who I gave a discount to rent for 3 or 4 months while he figured out what to do, and that was all. That was the only change I had to make, and I was fine with me because he was a good guy, and I knew the problem was real. He wasn't. I'm not paying rent because the government says I don't have to.
Communication.
That wasn't what he was doing.
I know.
It was a real situation.
I know.
And I just, I was like, okay, look, I'm rich. He's in trouble. Let me see what I can do to help him. And I discounted his rent for a couple of months, and he was fine. He actually appreciated it. He just moved out, actually, and it wasn't that was the one we just worked on. He just moved out, and he'd been a tenant for 8 years.
Yeah. So when you give people a chance, and you know that this is my way, sometimes we don't agree, especially right now that we own a property in partnership,
right,
which is of course the mobile home park in Florida. Mm-hmm. I like to give people a chance. I like to give people that don't get a chance anywhere else, I like to give them a chance. If it's not extra risky for me, I like to give them a chance. And with my experience at least, they are thankful and grateful for forever. And they take good care of the I know. Because if you remember, when I came here, I was the worst landlord. I'm not anymore, but that's what I was. As the worst landlord, I did all my mistakes.
And why did you make those mistakes? Because you didn't listen to who?
To investor schooling.
Or Larry, right?
Or Larry,
me, right?
Exactly.
Because I told you over and over again, don't rent to that tenant, or if you rent to that tenant, do it this way. And oh no, it'll be fine. And then you gave story after story one
I know.
day. He did a presentation called The Worst Landlord, and it was a great presentation.
I have too, yeah.
It's a great presentation because it's the typical mistakes that landlords make. Everything from screening the tenants wrong to how he handles the problem.
Yeah.
And it was great because it was real. And it was, so if you ever become a student and you watch Omri give his presentation, it's a great presentation. But he's learned a lot, and even Deb's learned a lot too, right?
Yeah.
So I know when you came as a student. You were a student first.
Yeah.
And then you had some properties that you had, that you were. I don't want to say it the wrong way. You were very proud of, and that was fine because you should have been proud of owning them. And then all of a sudden, when I started comping them, you realized that they weren't worth what they were worth, what you thought they were worth, and that created some issues for you. But it was just because you didn't learn how to comp the way I learned how to comp.
Yeah, I was taught how to comp them differently,
right?
And that's where the mistake was,
right? Because you went to one of those guys who have that weekend seminar, and then they fly in and fly out.
No, it wasn't quite like that, but whatever. Larry always likes to take credit for everything, so whatever.
No, so
sure.
What are the cool things?
I'm only as good as I am because of you, Larry. That's what you want to hear.
Of course. One of the cool things about investor schooling is
so modest.
We're here. This is a brick and mortar location. We will be here next week. So if you think we did something wrong, you don't have to go find us. You know exactly where we are.
Come and shout us. We actually have a ceremony of throwing piece of paper at each other when we do mistakes.
No, it's just the ceremony of throwing paper at Larry when he makes a mistake.
No.
So what they're talking about is, honestly, we teach a lot of things. We not only teach real estate, we not only teach trust and LLCs, we also teach the stock market, how to invest in the stock market, and I have a certain set of rules that I teach people. If you can invest in stock options, these rules are very, very good, and they will help mitigate the risk in stock options greatly. So, the odds of losing money are less because that's what the rules are all about. The rules are about trying to conserve your money because if you do stock options wrong, you're going to lose a lot of money. So I teach these rules, and every once in a while, I break these rules. And when I break these rules, sure enough, I lose money. So I will tell the class when I've lost money on a trade. Now, most of the time it's because I broke the rules. Every once in a while, a trade just goes bad. But most of the time it's because I broke the rules. And I will sit there and I will say, this is the rule I broke. And then we have Debbie and other people hand out a piece of paper to everybody. And they crumple up the piece of paper. and they take the piece of paper and they all throw it at me at the front because I broke the rules.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of fun because it's the truth. It's what happens. It's how life is. You make mistakes or you get greedy, which is what I do every once in a while, and it's fun because
we need to change that to
reality.
tomatoes one day.
What?
We need to do tomatoes one day.
Or rocks.
Or not rocks.
All right, let's do this. We didn't take a commercial before. Let's take a quick 2-minute break. Let's let people know how they can find out about Investor Schooling, and we'll come back and we'll talk about something else. But, real quick, Sean, what's the phone number so they can call in?
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. 855.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, at Investor Schooling...
I thought you was only going to say it 2 times.
Well, he did too, and then I told him to say it again.
Yeah. Oh.
That's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor...
No, it's not the end of the world. You're good, man.
Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now.
All right, so run this for 2 minutes. All right,
Yeah,
so
run
run
2
the rest
minutes,
of the
yeah.
commercial spots, basically.
Yeah, exactly. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's...
Out time. Do you, how good are you guys at
59:30, right?
your out times?
59:30?
59:30? Yeah. Yeah, you can do 59:30.
Yeah, I speak...
Right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market...
Awesome. Great.
Class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now. RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there. Investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows. And you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about
10 seconds.
how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Investor Schooling. Omri is so funny. He's like, I said Investor Schooling. It's the Larry Steinhouse Show.
It is.
See, you got me so confused now, Omri, because we changed the name of the show to the Larry Steinhouse Show because it is...
The Larry Steinhouse Show.
I know. And the phone number is...
855-939-1137.
But the funny part is, so Omri does this. Omri pays no attention to anything going on. So the commercial ends, and
Sometimes.
if you are on Facebook, you hear this because you hear the feed, and Sean goes 10 seconds, and the commercial's ending, and the music just starts to play, which is my intro, and Omri says, I just got another credit card. I'm like, okay, great. Maybe you should, if you want, you can talk about that now if you'd like.
That's the essence
but
of...
how about like waiting for the intro and being quiet?
So you crossed your million. I just crossed my 100,000.
Really, only 100,000.
Only.
So what Omri's talking about, and this is interesting too. One of the things we teach is we teach people how to get massive lines of credit, not use them for junk, use them for real things like buying investment properties or repairing investment properties. So massive lines of credit, and I just got to $1 million worth of available credit on just credit cards.
To all
credit cards.
To all the people that are listening to us and are just saying, what? Yes,
What?
you can buy properties. You can buy properties in your credit cards.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah, so you can buy properties with credit cards. Now, here's the interesting thing. Now, people are going, now people who are listening for the first time like Chris, they're going, why would anybody want to buy a property with their credit card, right? Now, here's the answer. The answer is no, I'd much rather buy it with a bank and have 8% interest instead of 30% interest.
Correct.
But some of the properties we look at, banks won't finance. They're in such bad condition that banks won't finance. Now, at the same time, if I'm buying a property like that, and let's say I'm going to flip the property, we teach all of this too. We teach flipping, we teach buy and hold, We teach all this. Let's say I'm going to flip the property. I could pick up a property, I don't know, for $50,000, right? And I got to put another $50,000 into it, and I could sell a property for $200,000 after that.
Easy. We saw those every day.
Yeah, all the time. Not every day, but all the time, right?
Yeah.
So if I took $50,000 and used my credit card to buy that property, and I used $50,000 of credit cards to repair that property, how much of my own money did I use? Zero. I used the bank's money. It just happened to be credit cards, but I used the bank's money. Now, it's possible with 0% interest if certain credit cards give you 0% interest certain times a year, but I don't care. Let's say it is 30% interest.
And let's say it took you a year and you had to pay the $30,000 in interest.
Let's do that.
Who is paying the 30%?
No, let's do this, okay? So, but let's do the math.
Sure.
Right. Now, most likely it's going to take 3 months, maybe 4 months to renovate the property.
Easily.
But let's go with Army's example that it took me a full year to renovate and sell the property, right? A full year, which is highly unlikely in this market.
Yes.
So now I have $100,000 that I borrowed from the bank in my credit cards. I paid 30% interest, or I'm going to pay 30% interest, or I paid 30% interest over the year.
Yeah.
And guess what? I then sell the property for $200,000. How much did I make? $70,000
before tax.
I made $70,000
Amazing.
without we're using somebody else's money. Who cares? I don't care where I'm getting this money from. I don't care what the interest rate is.
And if you
as
want
long
to
as I'm making money, I mean, what's the rate of return? If I use zero money out of my own pocket and I got $70,000, what's my rate of return?
Infinity.
It's infinite. It's an amazing rate of return.
I know.
So don't think that's bad. It's actually great. And it's funny because I do this, I get up and I do seminars. I speak all the time. I speak around the country about how to buy properties with no money, and I speak about building credit. And the one question I always ask to the audience is, hey, what question do you have for me when I tell you I have over $1 million worth of available credit on credit cards? And it's funny because they always ask the same question. What would you do with $1 million worth of credit on credit cards? And what's my answer?
Anything I want.
Anything I want. Anything I want. Right. So when I tell you that it's a smart thing to build credit, and not like lying Dave Ramsey, you need to learn how to do this. Build a credit. I'm not saying go buy furniture and junk and Ferraris. No, don't do that. But if you're using this money for the right way, you're going to make a lot of money. You know what I heard? I'm one of the very few people who doesn't bash Dave Ramsey. I disagree with him. I don't bash him. I just disagree with him. Today, I have to bash him.
Why?
Because he was doing. I watched a clip of his.
Yeah.
And he goes, "My credit score is 0." And you know what? His credit score is not 0. There's no way it's 0. The only way somebody can have a 0 credit score is if they have never had credit in their entire life. And I guarantee you, Dave Ramsey, his story is he went broke and he rebuilt. I went broke too. I rebuilt using other people's money. He rebuilt. He rebuilt by putting money away, 10% away, which is fine, which I actually think is a good idea. But I guarantee you, especially now, if he's traveling, he at least has a American Express card that he travels with and checks into hotels with. So if he has a credit card, he has a credit score. So he's a liar, and that really bugs me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So
I just want to
that was
say,
my Dave Ramsey rant.
Okay, I just want to say to some people that believe that it's only good for flips. No, it's not, because when this horrible property being renovated,
I love how Omri is actually looking at like an application from Zillow as we're on the radio right now.
Oh yeah. So yeah, well that's typical Omri.
That's typical Omri.
So Omri is the most ADD person I've ever met in my entire life.
The one time that it was just me and him, he was on a call with Israel. Remember, like your family was on. No. We're literally on the radio, and he's on another call.
My family called me, and I'm like,
yeah, but you weren't even talking to them. You were just like listening in. You weren't even talking to them.
No, I wanted them to show to see. That's it.
Yeah, but they were on audio. It wasn't like you couldn't see anything.
I could.
Okay. I just think it's interesting.
So tell us about what you're looking at, Omri.
I'm looking at an application. You actually want me to talk about it on the air?
Don't talk about the name.
Of course I'm not going to mention the name. So I got a text that distracted me because we had a guy.
Just a text distracted him.
Yeah.
You're the same way. I have to say,
I'm
hold
not
on.
as bad as him.
I
what else would distract me? We all have
you're
clothes on ourselves. Right.
But I think that's part of genius, right?
Is that what it is?
I think this is what happens, right? You go to school and the teacher goes, well, your son or your kid, to my parents, your kid is ADHD or ADD and blah, blah, blah. Let's put him on drugs so he can be like everybody else. Well, the whole point is we're not like everybody else.
Exactly.
Some people are smart. Some people are not so smart. Some people are distracted. Some people could do multiple things. Some can't. And some people are extremely, like I was, bored in school. I was so bored in school. I mean, they're teaching to the lowest common denominator. So I got really, really bored. And, of course, what would happen to my grades when I got bored?
They'd go down.
They go down because I was completely bored. It was absolutely boring, useless knowledge. You know, I remember I always wanted to learn a second language, and I dropped out of Spanish. I dropped out of Spanish 2 after 5 years of Spanish. You want me to say that again?
Yeah, I got that.
You got that, right?
Yeah, I got that.
So
you failed the first...
And the reason was because it was so boring the way they were teaching it. You know, if they would have just taught it as conversational Spanish instead of, this is how you conjugate the word. Libra, so whatever it was. I mean, I don't know. See how much I learned, right?
Yeah, I see
and
how much you
every
learned.
single word. It was like this. We would concentrate on one word a week.
They don't do this today. Today, the best, and that's actually the best. You made fun about me learning English from friends.
Right.
The best way to learn a second
Right, of
language
course,
is
is watch TV.
speaking.
Yeah,
No, not
speaking
even
and watch TV, of
speaking.
course.
What
Of
exactly?
course, of course.
Exactly. If you will
Right.
say the same word, I will tell you a story. Okay.
Vámonos.
I will tell you a story. Okay. 25 years ago.
Vámonos. We only got 5 minutes.
Sure. 25 years ago, we had a test in English, and the only word that I couldn't get in was butterfly. Butterfly. That's the word that I couldn't get into my brain. So my teacher sat me down and said, say the word many times. So what I did during the class, I remember that like it was yesterday. I was sitting in the class and I'm like, butterfly.
What a
butterfly,
perfect description
butterfly,
of ADD.
Butterfly. But it was, and it was horrible.
What a perfect description of ADD. You know, it's always the ADD kid who sees the butterfly in the window and doesn't pay attention to anything. In the room.
I'm trying to
That's
figure
what
out where you were
I'm talking
going
about. So
with
let's
that.
go back
Okay.
to what you were doing on Zillow.
Sure.
Because, you know, we've just
So-
bored everybody online.
So we have a guy that has applied to us for
So this is for one of the mobile homes.
one of the mobile home,
right,
correct?
in Florida. That we own Omri and I own a mobile home park together. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, correct. So the guy was very honest, and he said that he is going to get evicted from his apartment complex.
That's nice that he actually told us the truth.
That's the beginning of the conversation, and he needs a place fast.
Did he say why he was evicted?
He was yes, he said he was supposed to come and see the place, and then his wife went to the hospital, and apparently they're still in the hospital, but he's texting with me. So he did fill up the application even before he was planned to come and see the place, and the reason that he couldn't be there. The reason that he's getting evicted is because the wife lost the job. Now they are renting a place in Florida that it's an apartment. I'm not sure if there is like other fees or something, but they pay for a 2-bedroom apartment in this area, $2,100. So it's very expensive. Now they will save money. They will save like $400 by moving, okay, but by moving to save $400 and then you include how much it costs for people to move.
So let's
It's
talk
a
about
big
Well,
question.
he's being evicted, so he doesn't have the money to pay. So how many months behind is he on rent is the real question.
Yeah.
And has it been habitual? So I would tell you, so if you feel sorry for this guy, which I kind of do, right? I might say, listen, send me copies of rent checks, and if I see for the last 2 years that all his rent checks have been paid on time, and it was the last 3 months when the wife got sick that this became a problem, I'm leaning towards saying yes. I'm not saying yes yet.
Yeah, I know.
Now we have a problem too. If the wife was contributing to the income and she's not out of the hospital yet, she's not contributing to income at this point, so he may not be able to afford this on his own.
So everything started with them. I'm reviewing the application right now, and everything started in 2024. And you see that the credit cards haven't been paid in 2024. Everything was perfect until the beginning of this year. So something actually happened here, and I am very leaning into helping this person, but of course there is a risk. There is always a risk.
Right, but the risk will be mitigated if you know how much the guy makes.
I know.
And whether the wife is coming out of hospital soon. I mean, if she's been in hospital for all this time, that's bad for a lot of reasons.
So let's go for another thing. This person, beside all that, has a criminal charge from 2017.
Okay, that's pretty far away.
Oh,
That's pretty far away, and you will explain to me what it is. It said felony battery.
So he hit somebody.
yeah, he hit somebody.
Battery is hit somebody?
Now,
Yeah.
now here's where it's going to get a little weird if I start connecting the dots.
Okay.
And this connecting this dots, if this is the truth, I want nothing to do with this guy.
Yeah.
So if it's felony battery because he beat his wife, and now his wife's in the hospital, and she just doesn't want to say that
Oh
he
my
beat her
God,
this
no.
time. I don't want to be in the same room with this guy because I might beat him.
Yeah, exactly.
So you need to find out if those two dots connect or not. Because if those two dots connect, far, far away this guy's going to be.
So all those things together are all over the place. The thing that always, I think, amazes us is people that lie. Because people come and say, do you have any evictions? We
Right.
said, no. Any criminal records? No. And then what do? We let them go around the house, see the rooms, look, see if the house is good for them. And while they do that, you open the app that we all like.
Right. Well, okay, let's do this real quick because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we teach you how to be a better landlord.
Yes.
And I also say all the time that there's no such thing as bad tenants. There's only bad landlords. And what that means is, if you're having problems as a landlord, it's because you were a bad landlord and you either brought in a tenant that was no good that you should have never brought in, or you didn't know how to control your tenants. You need to know how to control your tenants, and you need to know how to control your tenants using the court system, not removing doors, which was funny. In the 50s, they used to do that. They used to just, if people didn't pay their rent, they used to remove the doors. That's the truth, and it's funny. But
No
they
chance.
They can't do it now. Now you go to jail if you do that, which is insane. All right. So you guys do know what we teach is we teach everything from landlording to fix and flips to finding properties to even selling properties to teaching people how to lend money. I mean, we just teach everything that has to do with real estate. It's what we do. Then we also teach the stock market. We also teach stock options. We also teach how to use IRAs properly. Most people have no idea that they could do so many cool things with their IRA. They don't even know they could buy properties in their IRA. We teach credit building. It just goes on and on and on.
And we also fool around. So it's fun.
Okay, so I'm in my exit now because I got 20 seconds. So be quiet.
Okay.
All right. So you go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and you could take a class this Thursday. Of course, we are on the air every Saturday at 2:00. And of course, I want to thank Sean for being our cool engineer today and being able to help us solve our ticking problem.
Yes.
So go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and we'll see you Thursday.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions are
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Awesome job.
You're awesome, man.